History has a shelf life. When a culture stops retelling its stories, the people and the empires that built that culture slowly cease to exist. In the early 1900s, the history of the massive Chola and Pallava empires was practically invisible to the South Indian public. It was locked away in academic texts and epigraphy, dense, unreadable stone inscriptions that required a specialist to decipher. While their own true epics decayed in stone, the Tamil literary market of the time was dominated by cheap, poorly translated Western detective novels. A society that consumes only foreign fiction while ignoring its own heritage faces a severe cultural threat. This focus on translated imports meant that the thread connecting the public to their own past was on the verge of breaking. R. Krishnamurthy, a veteran of the independence movement who had been arrested multiple times for his activism, saw this disconnect clearly. Writing under the pen name Kalki, he realized that leaving history to the academics was going to guarantee the loss of his culture's identity. Kalki decided to take the factual history of ancient Indian empires and package them into thrilling, mass-market blockbusters. By doing this, he shifted the definition of preservation from a dry, academic chore into a gripping public obsession. Standing on the shore at Mahabalipuram and looking out at the water, Kalki visualized ancient fleets and Pallava warriors. This setting became the foundation for his fiction, allowing him to weave together factual geography with immortal characters like the dancer Sivakami. To deliver these stories, Kalki used the industrial printing press, serializing his historical epics week by week in a self-named magazine. This created a powerful habit-forming routine for his readers. This chart illustrates the scale of his reach. While typical regional publications held modest baseline readerships, the serialization of Kalki's magnum opus, Ponniyin Selvan, pushed his magazine's circulation to 71,366 copies. These 71,000 copies represented a massive cultural revival. By providing thousands of households with a vivid, glorious past, Kalki gave a newly independent India a sense of historical continuity that academic texts never could. But Kalki's method of preservation contained a fatal flaw: the physical vulnerability of paper. Today, the original serialized magazines and the rare first editions printed in the mid-20th century are literally disintegrating. The acid in the paper is eating the pages from the inside out. If these fragile physical copies disappear, the bridge to the ancient past that Kalki built will collapse entirely. Kalki's printed pages were a highly effective delivery system for his era, but they have to be viewed as a temporary transit point for history, rather than a permanent fault. To prevent this second duration, modern institutional archivists have stepped in. At the forefront of this is the Roja Muthio Research Library in Chennai. They rescued a private collection of nearly 100,000 items, expanding into an archive of over 300,000 vulnerable pieces. Because the material is so fragile, historians use specialized tools to manually reconstruct decaying pages before they can survive a digital scanner. Beyond the institutions, there is a massive decentralized effort. Grassroots volunteers and do-it-yourself archivists are building custom scanners and typing thousands of pages an hour to create free, open-access databases. These modern digital archivists are performing the exact same role Kalki did 70 years ago. They are building a new bridge to prevent a historical collapse. Because of this massive archival effort, Kalki's epics haven't just been saved, they are currently thriving in new formats globally. Those weekly 1950 serials have directly birthed top-rated multi-part audiobooks and high-demand e-commerce titles. A civilization's heritage never survives by being locked away. It survives through constant, relentless translation across new mediums. As long as history is willing to jump from stone inscriptions to paper novels to digital pixels, it will remain immortal.